Across 4 decades, 16 studio albums, and over 15 million records sold, the Grammy-winning Indigo Girls, Emily Saliers and Amy Ray, continue to blaze the trail for generations of queer artists in the mainstream. Committed and uncompromising activists, Saliers and Ray work on issues like racial justice and reproductive rights, immigration reform, LGBTQ advocacy, education, death penalty reform, and Native American rights. Indigo Girls was the first of 6 consecutive gold and/or platinum certified albums. Their latest record, Look Long, is a stirring and eclectic collection of songs that finds the duo reunited in the studio with their strongest backing band to date. Melissa Etheridge stormed onto the American rock scene in 1988 with the release of her critically acclaimed self-titled debut album. Etheridge hit her commercial and artistic stride with her 4th album, Yes I Am. The collection featured the massive hits everyone on Earth knows, I'm the Only One, and Come to My Window. And that album brought home the Grammy Award for the Best Female Rock Performance. Known for her confessional lyrics and raspy, smoky vocals, Etheridge has remained one of America's favorite female singers for more than 2 decades. In June of 2020, Etheridge launched the Etheridge Foundation to support groundbreaking scientific research into effective new treatments for opioid use disorder.
We have them both here today. It's freaking so exciting. We went to their show last night. And P.S., yes, we are tour. The Indigo Girls and Melissa Etheridge together.
So good.
And then they were just here. They were just here.
Enjoy.
Amy and I,
She's honest.
well, I'll
about
speak
it.
for us both, but a little bit like bulls in china shops when we meet people that we're excited about.
Like,
oh, I love you. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
They run away.
Yes.
They're like, whoa, those
No.
two.
It's okay.
I know how that goes because right now my heart
Are you
is beating
checking
out
your
of my
Are you
head.
checking your?
Yeah. This morning on the way
Do you want
here,
us to just
Abby
give you a
said,
monitor?
The important thing is that we remain calm. So that's what I'm doing.
The royal we
I'm remaining
means me.
calm. Yes,
Oh.
it means us.
You look so calm until I
Abby's
looked over
completely
and started going
calm.
like this.
Look,
She's always calm. If reincarnation is real, I just want to come back as this.
Oh.
This
that's
like
such an
nervous
interesting thing.
system. This, yeah,
Well,
she doesn't get
you
worked
can't
up.
be a professional sports player without being that.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's
right.
that's what it takes. You
Training.
can't.
Did you get nervous before games?
It's different, isn't it? People
So-
say, "Do we get nervous?" And nervous and excitement is very much the same thing.
It's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Physiologically, the physiological
thing,
response
yeah,
is the
so-
exact same between nerves and excitement.
Really?
And so the way that
You put it in here.
psychologically an athlete thinks about it, like when the commentator said, "Are you excited? Or are you
Nervous.
nervous?" They're like, "No, I'm excited."
Excited, yes.
It's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
I didn't know that.
yeah.
but if you
Yeah.
say to yourself you're excited, it makes you less nervous. I mean, like,
That's what
does
they
it?
say, but that's bullshit.
I mean, I'm always excited about everything in life, but I get
Yeah.
nervous for certain shows, and I just have a case of the nerves, and I'll miss chords for the first 3 songs, or
Oh.
something will happen.
Like
you know.
LA
that's
makes
just-
us nervous.
LA, oh my God,
New
LA
York.
is so hard to play.
Really?
You did
I
a great
just-
show last night. It was a great
Yeah.
show.
But see, the Greek has massive spotlights. They're just huge, and you really can't see most of the audience. All you can see is the crazy front row, which are usually just crazy people, which I love my front row. They're great,
Yeah,
but they're
yeah.
just crazy people. And all I could see was the lit up exits. So I could see people leaving, and I'm like, do not look at the people
Oh
leaving.
my
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
play the show. Yeah,
Ah.
so LA is just a real mind trip because
Mhm.
I've spent years here. I came here 40 years ago and spent years dreaming and hoping. And so you get on stage and I've got this past of, oh my God, you've always wanted to be, you know, and then everyone's leaving and I'm like, no, sorry, this is just a mind trip.
They just had to pee.
Yeah, right.
is what happened.
Exactly. That's so much so. But that's a real,
Yeah.
mind trip.
It's a good mind trick though, because like in every situation we can either focus on the
Yeah.
people who are leaving
Or the ones that
or
are
the
there.
people, but you can have thousands of people like, I love you, I worship you. And you're like, some guy's leaving up
Oh no,
there.
you my
Like, oh, who cares?
my wife used to. My wife's a very interesting woman. She used to in the '80s. She drove a limo and she drove Liza Minnelli.
No way.
Yeah, totally. And she used to say that one time when Liza Minnelli played Carnegie Hall, that the place is going wild and stuff like this. And she said, yeah, but there's that one guy in back that didn't stand up. And then later she sees the guy going out in a wheelchair and she's like, fuck,
Oh, what
I
a
just,
great story.
yeah, I gave away all my power to my assumption that this person didn't like me. And those assumptions are what can really hurt us.
Our dear friend Andrea Gibson, who just passed,
Oh,
always,
yes.
yeah.
Biggie.
They used to say that their wellness check in every moment was, am I paying attention to who isn't loving me or who I love? Like in every moment, you can tell how well you are by what you're focused on, the not or the is.
That's all your power.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, why it's so hard to remember that or live by it?
I know.
I guess it wasn't for them, but
Well, I think it's been set into us from the time when we were little. I mean, when you stand, there's a saying in the sports world that if you stand in front of a group of female little girl athletes and you say, one of you was out there not working as hard as I know that you needed to be, every single girl psychologically thinks the coach is talking about them. And you go in the exact same locker room to a male and speak to a male team, and every kid in that locker room thinks they're talking about somebody else. So there's something that psychologically happens when we're young, I think, that kind of predisposes us to believe that, oh, we are not wanted. So we're looking for the people leaving the stadium or going and hitting the exits.
and if you're queer, there's all that
Yes.
Yeah, there's
history
that.
mixed into it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you feel that way, Melissa.
Queer?
But
I'm very queer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Please don't ruin our lives by saying you no longer feel queer.
Oh, God.
We can't take that.
No. You can be definitely sure that that's never changing. But
I mean, it's a bit of a trauma, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
just the,
totally.
the old language, the old voices.
But I also grew up. I had a really great father figure. Really great. He was a high school coach. But my relationship with my mother was really, contentious. She was having a hard time. She was like a hidden figures sort of computer scientist that didn't get the credit, got paid half of. So she was kind of a bitter woman. But I didn't understand all that at the time. I just thought she didn't like me because we always think it's about us. But my father was really great, and I think that maybe that sort of male role model in my life, I wasn't afraid of guys, and it really helped in my business because it was all guys. And, so I think that might be a part of it. I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that is.
What about you guys and men? There's the cue.
That's like something that you would have needed to ask yesterday, so we have time to think about it.
Yeah.
Or, no, I'm just kidding.
In terms of men in my life, like, I love all my brothers-in-law. I'm married to my sisters, and my parents stayed married until my mom passed, and my dad is a wonderful human, and so I've had a lot of good men in my life. And then in terms of, in terms of the spectrum, like, I find men extremely attractive. So, yeah, sometimes I'm like around a certain man or whatever, and I'm like, am I gay? And then, but I know I am. I know I am. But I have a very, very like vehement, vitriolic opposition to men who are toxic or take up too much space. Like, I just can't. And then in those moments, I'm like, I just want to be around women all the time because I don't experience that in the company of like-spirited women.
So you feel this attraction towards men. Is it for the sake of like sexual attraction, or is it part of gender questioning? Because I have similar things. I think men's bodies are beautiful, and I also think obviously women's bodies are beautiful, but it's in a way that I want to like be it. It's in a way that I feel like envy, like broad shoulders, muscles, ripped abs. I was a pro athlete, never had abs. Like, fuck.
I'd
No, I
take
don't
your
wanna
abs, though.
be it.
You don't want to be it.
with it.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's interesting, though. This came up in a conversation with Amy where I wrote this song when I was feeling sort of a wistfulness because I love country music and all the, we may have talked about this before, where the songs were heteronormative and I couldn't find my place in it. But you had said, Amy, like younger, you were just the guy in your mind. I mean, I don't want to put words in how you would describe it, but so I never could do that. I was like, I don't fit in this. But Amy didn't have a problem. Yeah.
It's interesting because for me growing up, I felt this need, not only internally but externally, that I had to put myself in a certain box.
Yeah.
So when Glennon and I met, it was actually really interesting because we were friends, and she was like, I think maybe I might be a little queer, and I was like, oh, like we should take the Kinsey test. You go online, and
that was your response?
Were you scared?
That's what she said.
Were you
I
scared?
was scared. I was terrified. You all, I was in a hotel room in Mennonite country,
Oh,
and there was a big
Good setting.
sampler that said, fear the Lord in all things. And then I've got Abby on the phone, and I was an evangelical Sunday school teacher.
Yeah.
So I'm fearing the Lord with my sampler, and then Abby's trying to make me gay. And
I'm
then,
not trying to make you gay.
And then
I sent you a song. You guys might.
Wait,
do
you
guys
sent a song?
Drive.
what song? What song?
Drive
Drive by
Melissa.
Melissa Ferrick.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm so gay.
That's very graphic.
That is a great
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
I love that you sent that.
Yeah. I was like, let me know what you think. And she was like, oh shit, that worked.
Was that how you flirted with
Yeah,
her? Yeah.
for sure.
Send her a song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For
See?
sure.
The songs are very powerful.
They can
The
be.
songs. Yeah. The reason why we're doing this in person right now is because when I found out that you all were in town, I lost my mind and said, please tell them that we'd like them to come to our in-home studio. And then a little too late, Abby reminded me that we don't in fact have an in-home studio.
That's so cute.
It's like we
Yeah.
have a basement.
Yeah. So
Like,
here we are in
yeah.
our in-home studio that we created for you all.
Yeah.
So we want to ask you all about creativity and songwriting, and like, where does it come from at first? Like, are you sitting in your house and you're like, a song starts bubbling up inside of you? Is it a lyric? Is it a melody? Which I'm not sure what a melody is. It's the harmony in the melody. How does it begin?
How do you win a game?
Yeah.
It's hard to describe. It's something you like really want to do, first of all. I mean, I know when I was 10 years old, and I grew up in the 60s and 70s, so I was in the middle of the singer-songwriter. You know, it was Dylan and Joni Mitchell and these, you know, Paul Simon and these great singer-songwriters. And I was just surrounded by music. My parents listened to music. They didn't play music, but they listened to it a lot. And my sister listened to the, you know, Led Zeppelin, the Rolling Stones. My parents had mamas and papas, and it's just a really great mix of music. And the radio station, I grew up in Kansas, and the radio station played everything. One radio station played everything. Tammy Wynette, to Marvin Gaye, and to Tommy James and the Shondells. It was just this great mix of music. So I thought music was just music, you know, it was everything. And I wanted to be part of that. And then you start drawing that to you. And first you're copying songs. You know, I was 11 and I didn't have experience. You broke my heart. You know, I did not have a
Yeah.
you know, broken heart yet. And you mimic it until, you know, your early 20s, you really start having experiences. Then you study it, and you study the greats, and, you know, Ricky Lee Jones, why do these words, you know, why did she use those words? And you get into that. So now, after we've done it for 40 years, 50 years, you know.
Higher.
You know, we've done it for
Fucking
a long
awesome.
time.
That's so amazing.
I collect, as I go through my day, I collect things that inspire me. Because if I want to be inspiring, I have to be inspired. So I find it in art. I find it in books, movies, other music, poetry. I love. I get a lot from poetry. And you're like, oh, why did that touch me? And then I look at that, and then I think about, okay, what do I want to say now? And now that I've lived so much life, it's rich with things that have happened, things that I want, the desires and pains. And so I can mine from that. I have on my phone, I've just got huge notes, just lines, just, you know, someone will say something, I'm like, oh, that sounds good, you know, that's cool, or I'll think something, or you just then give yourself time. In my 20s, before I had kids, I was like, you know, writing all day long on my bed, you know, lounging. You can do that. Now I have to say, okay, from 10 to 2, mama's writing, leave me alone, you know, that sort of thing. You got to make the time. You know, it's changed over the years, but how does it come? It's a connection with a stream of consciousness, really, that's going by, that you you get from, and sometimes you get really lucky and go, wow, thank you.
Yeah.
And sometimes someone else gets that line. You're like, oh, there it is. So
I saw it go by and I didn't grab it.
grab it. And then you hear it.
The one that got away.
Yeah, I've done that. I'm like, I thought of that and didn't do anything with it.
How about melodically? Have you ever ripped off a song and didn't realize until later?
I'm constantly worried that, no, I've changed songs. I've gone, oh God, that was inspired by this.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't help it. There's only 8 notes. So you're like, did I make that up? Or is that like a really famous song that I just really like? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you guys? Where does creativity come from for you?
I think for me, like I was born into a musical family. So my dad's a pianist and he wrote sacred music and my mom played piano and we always sang together as a family. So, you know, whatever genetically might contribute to that was certainly in my line. But like I came into the world, okay, it was Born Breech. That was back when they let you be Born Breech. Born Breech came in like bow-legged, red-headed, recessive gene sensitivity queen, like fucked up. And so
Great description.
I'm thinking of your limbo shirt from last night. You're like arrived in limbo. I am on the cusp.
No, I feel like my name's Emily and I don't know, but I have big feelings.
Yeah.
Yes.
My girl.
Yes.
So when I discovered guitar at 9 years old, and then that became my vehicle. And so really at first, and like Melissa said, it's a lot of emulating early on. Like I really wanted to be Joni Mitchell. And then I read an interview with her. You know, she was so acerbic back in the day.
Oh my God.
I was so afraid of her.
She didn't like anybody.
And she was like, I don't want anybody to copy me. And I was like, oh God,
Yeah.
I guess I better find my own voice. If Joni doesn't want me to be like her. So there were like these pivotal moments, but mostly it was like, that was the way that I could figure out the world through my little lens, you know. And then as Melissa said, you live more and then your songs become more alive in your own experience and they become richer. I could write 5 songs a day when I was 17, but they were all the same and they were crap. Like I look back at those lyrics and it's like, God.
I see these artists that are getting signed at 17, 18, and you're like, oh God, they're going to, by the time they're 25, they're going to go, what? You know, they're going to be completely different than what they created at 17.
That's right.
I'm so glad I didn't get
Well, we
signed.
did record a few songs that if I had to go back and like, oops, we could have left that one off. But,
Well, I still have those.
so I think for me, I just see the world in images. Like, and then like Melissa, I'll write things down and I'll think, oh, this is so good. This is going to go in a song 9 times out of 10.
No,
it's
it doesn't work.
God. So there's a constant self-criticism too. Like it's very rarely there's 2 or 3 songs maybe that I'm like, that did the trick. That's what I was going for. But for me, it really is, songwriting is completely cathartic, you know, and with this administration, I've had a lot to write about. So the problem is that I end up sort of spewing the same sentiments and sort of descriptors. And after you have lived and written songs for so long, I just don't want to repeat myself. But when it is the way for me to process what's going on in the world or in life, then, you know, there tend to be repeating themes because not much changes over time when it comes to the human race.
No.
So anyway, that was a long-winded way of saying that's where mine comes from. Trying to figure shit out.
Yeah. What about you?
I mean, my family was musical in some ways. Like my parents loved music. My dad's had a great voice, and we sort of had to take piano for 3 years. That was like the compulsory, which I'm so glad about. But I think I was just like drawn in. Like my older sister would listen to a lot of the music from the late 60s and 70s, and I was really drawn into like Neil Young and Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin and Grace Slick and like all those kind of that era. And then I discovered, you know, Carole King and Roseanne Cash and Linda Ronstadt and, you know, a lot of Joni Mitchell and Ricky Lee and all these things that started cropping up. But when I was very young, I was in church choir. I was a real church girl. I went like, you know, a few days a week at least. Sunday school, Bible school, youth group, choir practice, Friday night skating. I did all of it, right? And music was a big part of what we did in the Methodist church, you know.
I was Methodist.
Sporty Methodist.
I was too.
You were too as well?
Yeah.
Very Methodist.
Sporty
Yeah.
Methodist.
And there was so much music. And,
all the time.
My parents ended up dropping me off at church. They didn't want to go to church, but I was like, take me to church. I want to sing
you
and
could
stuff.
just sit around and play.
And I loved the spirit in it.
Yeah.
And
we are one in the spirit.
We are one.
Because you go and you think it's the feeling you have is about Jesus. I was like, oh my God, I love Jesus. I went to my first concert. I'm like, oh, I just love this music altogether.
yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, it's
true.
just that feeling of
Yeah.
we're all in a moment together.
I had a
It's
moment.
communal.
I was almost. I had a moment of being maybe a Christian artist.
Oh, really?
I know, it's true. I was
Hey.
like 20. It was before I came to California, and I'd done so much work in the church, and had become like head of the youth group. And I wrote a musical, and I was doing all this stuff. And then,
Yeah.
you remember Phil Kagi?
Oh yeah. I loved Phil Kagi.
He came to our town, and,
oh my God. I loved him.
and they let me open for him.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is it. This is my chance, you know. And
He was great.
he's great.
Yeah.
And I met him backstage, and I was like, what do you think? Do you think, I could, because I'd written some great songs, and he sweetheart. He said, I don't think Christian music is ready for you.
Well, that was probably true.
And so
Good
I went,
advice.
I'm going to Los
Wow,
Angeles.
way to go, Phil
And I'm just
Kagi.
going to be gay.
He's like,
I know.
way to
It was
go.
cool.
Yeah.
That was nice
Yeah.
of him.
Yes,
actually.
yes.
What
Yeah.
is, so you all are Methodist. Do you have any language to put around what your faith is right now?
Oh, yeah.
What's the language you would use? Like in this snapshot, this moment today, what is your faith?
I'm a spiritualist.
Spiritualist.
Yeah. I believe in intelligent design. You just can't look at this world and how it is made without understanding that some intelligent life force or source is creating this that's going on. And I had cancer 21 years ago, and it really I got to get in life right now or I'm going to die, that sort of thing. So I really dove deeply into religions, science, quantum physics, these things. And when you start realizing that it's all the same thing, that we're actually connected by a force, whatever you want to call it, the ether, the source, we're connected, we're all one, and we're all different, and we're all creating and moving forward, and we're all trying to figure out how to live together. And there's a saying that started with Hermes back in the Greek time. It was as above, so below. What we're doing down here is also how it's done everywhere. You can see in a small cell what we are as a cell of a person are in this society, as our countries are in the world, as the world is in the universe, and it's all the same. So that's a whole nother podcast I could definitely talk to you about, but it brings me much peace to understand it that way, to understand the spirit in the world.
What about you, Amy?
I mean, I believe that, like, I was a religion major and I really love religions, like to study how people live what you use as your construct to get through your life, And so I'd look at religion as two things. Like, I'm very spiritual and I'm very like nature oriented and kind of paganism in some ways, but the structure of Christianity is my comfort zone, and not the patriarchy, of course. When I write songs that are like gospel songs, I still write about Jesus, and I still think of Jesus as a historical figure who may or may not have been everything that we think, but it, in my mind, is like this rebellious advocate for people that, had less or weren't recognized, I guess is a better way to put it. They actually probably had more, but were disenfranchised. And so for me, it's that I was raised so heavily in that, and it's still something I feel comfortable with, and I go to church and I like preaching, and when it's a good minister, and I really just love it, I enjoy it a lot. So, but I also love Buddhism, and I love the Jewish faith, and I love, like Jewish theologians like Martin Buber, or I like, so I think Hinduism there's a lot of things in Islam that are very special. And so I love it all, but I think I realized for me, the vehicle that is kind of Jesus without the patriarchy, I guess, in a way, which is hard to do. But I have like a filter and translator inside me It just takes whatever is happening and translates it into my own language, and I feel good.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely feel, determined for the church and institutions to sort of get with it, and because there's so many churches, like the church in my neighborhood, my mom's neighborhood, who my mom needs a lot of care right now, and they're really there for her. And it's just like 50 people in the congregation with an incredible minister and a great piano player. And, that's what it's a neighborhood church. They're there for everybody. When someone's house burns down, they're there for them. When my mom is sick, they're there for them. To me, that's what church is supposed to be about.
Yeah.
And so I believe it's important to have that community space. I just wish it hadn't been hijacked by all the assholes. That's my take on it.
Yep.
But Emily's got a whole...
Well, I guess I'm much more of like a Holy Spirit kind of girl. Like when I was younger, it was really about Jesus, and I, like these women, I grew up in the Methodist Church. My dad was a theologian and a minister, but we were, I guess you could call it progressive thinking. So nothing was ever forced on us. We were able to ask a lot of questions, and my dad was able to describe to us the true mythology of Christian doctrine and storytelling. So when I had a sort of an intellectual grasp of the sharing of stories, like the Lord's Prayer is actually a Jewish prayer in origin, and then the stories of the gods and all that. So then I was like, okay, that's cool. So I'm not a fundamentalist, and the mythology is beautiful and all that. But to me, like human beings, in my opinion, we have a relationship to spirituality. So the more we lock in to goodness, doing for others, respecting our place in the scope of things, then the deeper the spiritual world grows. To put it simply, this entity that I believe in, this Holy Spirit, it grows the more human beings are in relationship with it. So this is our task as human beings, and I'm a little negative about the human species. I don't think we've really come that far in terms of our evolution as beings, and we do have a chance to ruin it all, and perhaps we will. But in the moment, we are tasked with this relationship, so I buy into that. But also I buy into like the cosmos is like, we cannot fathom the mysteries of the universe. And so there are mysteries, but then there are fractals. They know that things are repeating and repeating. And then to me, it's just so truly, in the literal sense of the word, awesome. Like awesome.
And now it's time to thank the companies who allow you to listen to We Can Do Hard Things for free. If you've ever felt like menopause was something you had to go through quietly, you're not wrong, because the media rarely talks about it. That's why I'm such a fan of the 19th. They're an independent, nonprofit newsroom that reports on gender, politics, policy, and power, elevating stories that actually reflect women's and LGBTQ plus lives. Because if those voices are missing in journalism, the picture is incomplete. Now they're turning the spotlight on something that's been overlooked for way too long: menopause. The 19th is launching a new newsletter all about perimenopause, menopause, and what it means to navigate middle age with all the cultural expectations that come with it. Each week through the end of the year, they'll be talking with experts, unpacking symptoms, deciphering the latest research, and sharing real experience. The goal? To help all of us feel more informed, more connected, and definitely less alone. So if you or someone you love is in that stage of life, check out the 19th's Menopause newsletter. Go to 19thnews.org/hardthings to sign up today.
My day can go from a workout to a meeting to school drop-off to dinner out, and I want clothing that can keep up. And that is why I love Vuori. These clothes are versatile, elevated, and insanely comfortable. Perfect for whatever your day throws at you. My absolute favorite is the Performance Jogger. It's part of their Dream Knit collection, and honestly, these are the softest joggers on the planet. The Dream Knit fabric is lightweight, moisture wicking, and has 4-way stretch. So they're built to perform, but made to feel like a dream. I wear them basically for everything. So stretching or running, lounging around the house, traveling, even dressed up a little bit for a casual dinner. They're stylish, effortless, and the kind of piece you'll be reaching for forever. It's my everyday uniform, y'all. Vuori is an investment in your happiness. For our listeners, they are offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at vuori.com/hardthings. That's VUORI.com/hardthings. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to vuori.com/hardthings and discover the versatility of Vuori clothing. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions. Okay, Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ. So as you might imagine, I'm kind of particular about how I work out. So I have the hardest time running on my own nowadays, got a hurt ankle, but in fact, I just can't really do it anymore. And the new Peloton Plus Tread has been a game changer because I can mix things up, and I definitely need that variety. The Tread Plus has it all. It combines running, lifting, recovery, everything you want. It's been a game changer for me because I can't run hard on my foot right now because I have foot and ankle issues. But the Tread is forgiving enough and gives me enough incline to get a solid sweat in. But what I love most is that the screen swivels. And so it guides me through an awesome weight session after I get on the tread on that incline. It's really amazing, truly. And it also has my high schoolers used it a few times. So I don't know what that says, but I think it's probably a good thing. Seriously, I am stunned at how much I didn't know I needed this tread. Plus, Peloton IQ also builds me a personalized plan. Weekly classes that match my mood and my goals, guided by the instructor I connect with most. And the swivel screen, like I said, it's just genius. You got to check this thing out, you guys. Let yourself run, lift, sculpt, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
What is your faith or all of that? How does it inform how you show up right now in this moment that we're in this country? And how does being on the road together right now feel, being like all of this, it's so emotional just watching you on stage because, you have walked us through so many things. And I felt comforted last night because I thought, well, there's a lot of young people there last night. Yeah. And I was like, oh, these people think this is new. Like there's so many queer kids out there, but you all went through it when it wasn't so easy, right? When everybody wasn't assimilated. So what do you want them to know, the young kids to know right now, like young queer kids? And what have you learned from them that has changed your worldview?
Our oldest child is a lesbian. And it's so funny because she'll say, people ask me, do you think you're lesbian because your mother was or whatever? And she's like, well, are you straight because your parents were straight? That's a silly question. And I raised her in a world where she really thought there were more gay people than straight people in the world when she was a child.
Right.
She really did. And she came to the Berkeley show the other night, and the Berkeley show was, it was 10,000 strong, magical men and women. And she turned to her partner, she goes, this is what I was raised in. This is what I thought the world was this right here. So I see that as these younger kids who were raised after we already, started building it. And we were the famous ones, but there were so many people. I was surrounded by, Urvashi Vade and these men and women who were fighting the AIDS fight, in the 80s. And that's what really brought us all together. This was something that was killing people. And we all joined together. And these people, I would hang around them in Hollywood, and they were working so hard. And it inspired me to go, it would probably mean something if I really came out and did that. And so there was a small sense of community and, like I remember when Bill Clinton actually said gay and lesbian for the first time on television, it was like, oh my God, he said the word lesbian, and it was just really, huge. And I would say to the younger ones now, we have come so far. You don't realize that it wasn't that long ago that it was like this. So we have come so far. Rest assured in that. Yes, people are going to try to push back, but it's not going to work because we've already come so far. And I didn't think in my lifetime that I would be able to say I have a wife.
Same.
You know, that wasn't something that, and marriage, when we were just fighting to stay alive and not be thrown in jail, we didn't think about marriage. That was like, that's something that straight people do, you know? And it wasn't until I realized that, well, there's a whole lot of rights that come with marriage and stuff.
Right.
You know, I wanted marriage so I could get gay divorced, you know, so I could.
Divorce equality is important.
Yes. No, you have no idea. I had to pay twice as much in taxes that someone else would have to pay in a divorce. And so I would say don't despair. It's have enough of the contrast to give you energy, but don't ever let it overcome you, because we have already pushed through so much of this. And it's just people in their fear and that they don't understand what they don't see. And so be out, be gay, be who you are, and change happens slowly. And just in 20 years, they'll be going, oh, well, we used to have to do that. You know, it'll be the same.
Yes.
What about you two? What do you think about when you think about the young queer love bugs?
I love young queer activists. I love young activists, not even just queer. For me, they've mentored me. All my life, I've felt like, you know, I used to hang out with this band, the Butchies, which was part of Team Dress, was kind of like the Riot Girl era, and we toured together some, and they really opened my mind to my own sort of gender struggles. And they're 10 years younger than me, and from that point on, I sort of started realizing, it's like, I don't really have a lot to say. I have to listen probably a lot, because they opened my mind to a lot of stuff that was already going on inside me and enabled me to articulate things that made my life so much easier. And then as I got older, I noticed that all these great movements were starting to be led by, younger people. And I mean, gun safety, gun control, environmental movements, climate change, Black Lives Matter, death penalty work. The Indigenous movement right now is very youth-led and amazing young leaders, and the queer movement. And I find that I have a lot of young queer people in my life, also because I have two gay sisters and I have a gay sister that's got gay children. I've got a brother that's got gay kids. It's like, it's just a lot of gay around, and queer, but it's so different for them because they're it's so like fluid, and it's so not labeled, and it's free, and I don't know, I just feel like there's still a lot to learn. And there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of bullying, there's a lot of hate and vitriol, and it's really important, I think, just to, love each other through that. But also I have so much faith in this younger batch of people that I just try to listen what needs to be done. Like, what are y'all doing? What do I need to be doing to help that? Because I feel like that's the leadership that's so important right now. But I also think just generally every day right now, I feel like I'm always like, I got to do something positive today for somebody. It doesn't have to be queer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just has to be one thing that helps. Because right now, that's the only thing I can focus on is narrowing into how's that one thing that I can do today that'll help somebody feel better, or open somebody's mind up a little bit, or or just love, as you talk about love on stage a lot. It's good. It's because I live in an area where it's much more conservative, and there's a lot of, it's very hard right now for people to just find their way through it, but if people can keep relationships going, even though they feel differently and they hate each other in some ways, if they can try to keep something together, I think right now it's probably going to be the thing that saves us, to do that. To have some humanity.
For me, I just think simply I don't have much that I would tell young youth and activists, queer youth, except to say that things are on a continuum, and something came before you. It came before us. People have suffered to bring us where we are, and now there's a lot of suffering again, sort of one step forward, two steps back, it feels like, with this administration and just the horrific way that trans people are being treated and all of their rights being stripped. But there has been a continuum, and there always will be. But mostly I want to learn from them. Like, I just recently got to know Katie Gavin from Luna.
Oh.
She is amazing human being. I love her. She's a really wonderful human being. And I went to go see her play her solo show in New York, and I met her friends, and it was like, I was going to say a kid in a candy store, but it was more like, here I am, this person in my age with my experience and trying to use the tools that I have. These young people were so inspiring. First of all, they were all non-binary, all her friends.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was talking about how they flew to Egypt so that they could try to sneak over the border or get food to Palestinians, like on the ground. Complete courage that they wouldn't even call courage. It's just the way that they live their truth. So I'm like, y'all tell me what to do and I'll do my best as a middle-aged, like, whatever. Just so inspiring. And so there's a whole like circle of young artists, and some of them I find on YouTube. But Katie's like in that circle of people that's so inspiring to me. So I just want to listen and like be a worker bee and show up for them.
Beautiful. But what is a day like getting through this shit? Like, besides the like theoretical, like when you guys wake up and you're talking to your partners or you're talking to your kids, how do you approach living in this moment just on a day-to-day basis? How do you ride the wave of fascism?
Well, you want to tell them that you're in an interesting period of your life?
Well, I always am.
Oh,
It's fascism, and you got to tell them.
Menopause. Like,
Yeah.
I never...
Oh,
that's a book.
The intersection.
I just had a hot flash as we were sitting here, and I was like, going,
Yeah,
okay,
the
okay.
intersection of
I'm just
fascism
gonna let it go.
or
It's wild. It's
menopause.
like, is this raging homicidal lightning flash I have inside of me, like, due to the fallen estrogen or the fallen democracy? It's hard to know.
Can you please write that book?
No, I can't keep a thought in my mind for longer than 2
She's
minutes.
going through menopause.
Just record everything as you think it. Just like record it as
Oh
you
my
think it,
God.
and then translate. You know.
I mean, you all have kids. Like, what are you saying to them? And how do you keep your equilibrium? Do you?
I do. It started with me when I went through cancer. That was just a big like shift in my life of, oh wow, I got to think about me personally. And as I said earlier about as above, so below, I represent the whole, you know, each individual has everything in it. And each part of you and your body, your DNA, has everything in it. So I look to the fantastic things. I also look at what I'm taking in. It is really hard to watch the news. Watching the news is, you have to set yourself in a good place before you watch the news, or it will take you under and throw you away. And the technology that we have, how instantly things that happen all over the world, you can look and feel it instantly. And then there's, like, in the moment, there's nothing you can do about it. So it causes a Great Depression. So it's about, okay, how can I get to a place where I know that I'm doing what I can, what's healthy for me. Health is, especially menopause, this is when all the health stuff starts. So it's about strengthening yourself for my children. I can't have my children watching me fall apart over something that I literally can't change today. And I want to have my children see me, one, love what I'm doing, because I want them to love what they do in life. I want them to love life. So words don't teach. I can tell them, you have to love your life. But if they're seeing me falling apart every day, they're going to go, that doesn't fit. So I want to be an example. All I can do is teach them by my example, an example of a loving relationship, how I love myself in my relationship, how I love myself in my work, and how the only thing that could ever take me away from you is that is my love, and show them that that's the joy of life, is doing what you love. And then in your doing what you love, you actually make the world a better place. You really do. and believing that, and then letting the things that you can do come to you, like this. You have inspired so many young people just by being truthful, just by being you. That's the power that can't be taken away. And also the knowledge that in this world we live in a dualistic universe. That is, our reality is good and bad, light and dark, up and down, in and out, right and wrong. You can't have one without the other. They all exist. So how do we exist in a world where there's going to be really bad things always happening? How do we do that? Well, appreciation. You know what? This administration really makes me appreciate good leadership. I want to find people that are thinking forward about leadership. I want to put my energy, instead of putting my energy looking at what I don't like, saying what I don't like, which gives me more of what I don't like. I'm going to say, okay, this exists. I'm not going to, say it doesn't exist. Yes, it exists. And it makes me want more peace. It makes me want better leaders, better leadership. How can we lead as one in our diversity? Oh, well, we celebrate all diversity. We even celebrate people who don't understand us, but we appreciate, find a way to truly do it. And it's inside work. And it's inside work loving our bodies, and how, okay, we're not making babies anymore. That was only a part of our life. Now, unfortunately, in the last 2,000 years, a woman postmenopausal 2,000 years ago was the village leader. They were the ones who knew the things, the wisdom, the owls that we are. That's what our job was back then. And then that's been taken away and buried. And no. It's time to embrace that now. Now this is when the good stuff starts happening.
That's exactly right. That's
Promise
right.
you. This is the good stuff.
All the political movements,
cool.
and if we can zoom out of humanity, the bad things need to happen.
There you go.
So that you have something to fight against.
More good stuff.
And then this is the moment where we get to come together. So that's the way that my mindset works too. Though I wish that we didn't have to go through the suffering portal to get through, to the next step.
Anyone who's suffering that's proof of love, because anyone who looks at this mess and feels deep pain or sadness, that's only because there's a vision inside of them that is like, this should be more beautiful.
But
that
love yourself.
The vision, the bigger
love
the sadness.
Yourself enough to move to the next step from that. Do not stay in despair or suffering, because then that doesn't help anybody, and you get sick and you die.
Yeah.
So understand it, feel it, and then appreciate. I appreciate feeling that, because I know that has made me want this. We all went through, you have your Laramie song, I have a Scarecrow song about Matthew Shepard. People don't understand what a big moment that was, because it shifted people going, no, we can't be gay. There's no gay, to, wait a minute, I'm not that. I don't want to kill in such a horrible way. And it shifted a whole lot of people to, I'm not that. So the awfulness, we are going to see more people go, you know what? I'm not that.
Right.
Even though they might have been, I'm conservative. I'm not that.
Right.
And they move over. So that's where change happens.
You mentioned being yourself out loud, that is an important part of your work. Have you ever had a time where you decided to censor yourself, either in music or on stage? Can you think of a time where that has happened and you didn't say the thing, and then what was the fallout?
Yeah, I think for me, it's like a daily wrestling when we're on tour and singing. I always think about that, like not saying something, for various reasons. Like if you're in a band with a lot of people and different people feel different things, and that out of respect for people in your band, that this may not be the time to talk about certain issues or whatever. But then you're like, but this is the time to talk about that. So it's like, but I think it's harder than that I want to admit to myself to not be censored and to really be as strong as I want to be, you know? So I think it's not just like one moment, it's like a constant dialogue for me, because it's easier to sing a song that's outspoken than it is to actually speak out.
That's
you know?
interesting.
And so it's, you know, but for me, it's like when you're at a protest or a march, it's, you know, you're there, you're in it, you're saying it. When you're on stage in front of a lot of people, sometimes it's like, I don't want to, you start, do I want to alienate people? And then you're like, why am I worried about that right now? And so I have this little thing going on in my head. I think it's cool for me and Emily because I think we sort of tag teamed this a little bit because there's always this sense of who feels stronger that we don't even talk about, but you can just tell, like, well, Emily feels strong tonight to talk about this, or I feel strong tonight to talk about this, and I don't really even think about it. But as I look at it, I think like that's where we have the luxury of that tag teaming and making each other stronger. And I live in a town that's very, you know, I love my neighbors so much, and I really am careful, not about what I say, but choosing my moments to like evangelize to them about whatever, you know, and respecting where they're coming from. But if someone makes a racist comment, I'm going to say something about it, you know, or if someone says something really hateful, I do speak up. But like, I'm not scared about what people think of me. I'm scared of losing the thread of a relationship and damaging that, because I also had a dad that was very conservative and a mom that's now super progressive, but used to be conservative. So, and I try to be brave, you know, and I look to my mentors, my Indian elders and other elders, you know, Jimmy Carter, Stacey Abrams, you know, who unabashedly would just say things that they say, but they say them in a way that's gentle, or somehow they manage to say it without alienating people and still speak their truth. And I just study that. Like John Lewis, because I haven't gotten there at all in any way.
If you want some help, I have some advice on this topic.
Oh, Abby.
Cool.
You know, when we were young and our parents would you'd be like acting up and they would just be like, knock it off. Knock it off. I'm bringing it back.
Knock it
off. So when somebody steps out of line, just be like, knock it off.
I
Because
love
it's
that.
kind of loving and also nostalgic and also to the point.
Yeah.
And now it's time for our ads. As you all know by now, I have struggled with eating disorders since I was 10 years old. It is really something how much disordered eating can steal from us. Not just our health, but our joy and our relationships and our peace. Given the prevalence of eating disorders, it feels criminal how inaccessible treatment can be. Accessing treatment just is a sea of navigating wait lists, insurance, and trying to find any care that actually works. If you're worried about yourself or someone you love, I would like to introduce you to a resource called Equip. Equip is a fully virtual, evidence-based eating disorder treatment program that helps patients achieve lasting recovery at home. Every Equip patient is matched with a multidisciplinary care team that includes a therapist, dietitian, medical provider, and mentors. I will tell you that is what it took for me and continues to take for me, is an entire team. And you also get a personalized treatment plan that's tailored to your unique goals and challenges. Equip treats patients of all ages and all eating disorder diagnoses, and it's covered by insurance, and there is no wait list. If you think that you or a loved one could be struggling with an eating disorder, don't wait to get help. Visit equip.health/hardthings to learn more. That's equip.health/hardthings.
Here's the thing about Zelle. Life's full of those little moments when sending money makes a big difference, like pitching in for a last-minute group gift or sending your kids some extra cash at college. Or better yet, use it to delight yourself by seeing the people in your life and being able to give them a little thoughtful love that makes their day. Recently, one of my little cousins was going through some hard things, and I wanted to send them my love and support. But since I couldn't actually show up in person, being able to send a little funds so they could go get some coffee on me felt like the next best thing. It was simple, it made my day, and I hope it helped them through theirs. Whether it's a big moment or a small moment, Zelle is here for you so you can be there for them. When it counts, send money with Zelle.
Let me ask y'all, like, how is life different for you now that you're so much in the public and, like, truthfully, very, very famous? How does it make you more self-conscious about the way you live your life or how you speak your thoughts or how you do your job?
I think for me, I have all different thoughts about it. I'm an extremely sensitive human, so Abby knows we go through a lot of ups and downs in a day. But I think for me, the biggest challenge right now is to understand that my job isn't just to comfort a community. Like, it is not my job to make everybody feel comfortable all the time, which is I love the people who we do life with, and I love our community. And then, like, every 2 years, I am internally compelled to just blow it all up by, like, saying something or doing something, and then everyone's like, "Oh, we liked you before," and then so it's like a cycle. So for me, it's like getting comfortable with my mission or responsibility being not to just comfort a community, but also challenge, and being okay leaving behind whatever has to go, knowing that whatever will come next is what was supposed to be. But it does feel like a constant, like, oh, we just got comfortable. Like what you said about life is like, we just got comfortable with this thing. And now, like, I think if I'm speaking somewhere at a church or whatever and no one leaves, I feel like I haven't done my job.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
I always think that.
Oh, interesting.
Like when I start seeing people walk out, I'm like, oh God, I'm almost done.
Right.
I did the thing.
Yeah.
You
She's
just-
Right?
supposed to be she's trying to be
it.
challenging people
Yeah.
to a point where some people are like,
Uncomfortable.
get me out of
But
here.
it makes me
can't.
sad because I don't want, I want people to feel
Yeah.
safe, but then safety isn't always the,
You're right.
Yeah.
right?
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So
Yeah.
that's,
It's hard for me to do that, but you're so right.
And then what's your experience in all of that, Abby?
Since the time I was 15, 16, from like a smaller town in upstate New York to then like the world, I've had an interesting relationship with fame and being known in the public eye. And I think it's such a bizarre thing to have, like, I would liken it to your guys' talent, because there is something supernatural about it that I don't have anything to do with. I don't know why I was gifted this thing. So I do actually feel like I am of the people, because I can't claim full responsibility of it all.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah,
then,
totally.
and so when people come up to us, I don't feel there's a difference.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
Totally.
when I first met Glennon and got 3 kids, I was like very much thrown into, I have to have a consciousness for these 3 humans also, because they're young, and when somebody would kind of interrupt us, that would be interruptive to their experience. And so having to think through it from like a kid's perspective. And nowadays they're older now, and so it's usually pretty normal. And we live in an area where everybody kind of respects us. I don't know. I feel like the energy on this set right now, it's like, this is going to sound so weird, but just bear with me. I was doing a breath class. And in the breath class, you're basically hyperventilating, and I had some hallucination where God came down on me and basically was just like, I gave you this gift. I gave you these gifts. And like, it's up to you what you want to do with it. So it's like a daily choice to be in this system. And in the sports world, especially when I was traveling overseas, like people were calling me dyke and like, fuck you. And I was like, I was the enemy. I was like the opposition. So I got really comfortable in a place where people are booing, because if they weren't booing, then I was not playing well. Then they weren't scared. So it's kind of weird dynamic. So I'm like the perfect person for you to be married to, because I'm just like,
she's
roll
like,
up your sleeves.
they're
like,
yelling
let
at
it roll
us.
off
It's
your
good, and
back.
I'm like,
Yeah. I don't know.
That's a
That's
cool,
really
that's a
interesting.
cool way
Yeah.
to look at it.
Yeah.
Do you guys think anything was lost in the time when, you know, there were rainbows in every Old Navy and because like because really I don't know how to put this into words, but it felt like there was something cooler than that we were going for. Like just being like everyone else wasn't, it was kind of like, oh.
Well, then you have the capitalist part of it too.
Yeah.
Commodified.
Like I remember when American Airlines came out and was like very pro-gay early on, and I was like, oh, that's cool from the goodness of their hearts. But really, it's like,
we buy
it's
airplane
dollars.
tickets. Yes.
Dollars.
But you know what's like in I think it's a link to what you're saying, Glenn, and a lot of this conversation has come up recently, and I've had people I know say it seems like the trans movement has hurt the gay movement, and they feel their identity is lesbian and not queer. They don't like, and it's very interesting to me, and I understand why you can bite off more than you can chew in terms of a political strategy that the voting bloc is not ready for.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that there isn't some way that you have to keep fighting for that. So it's just really interesting to me now, these powers that have separated people, they've gotten into the queer community and like,
Same
and
thing.
it's like diabolical, and it's like, no, we need to stick together.
But that's history too, Emily, you know? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like, think about it. Remember the parades in Atlanta, and they'd be like, we don't want all the queens at the front of the parade, because
Right.
Yeah.
then the families won't accept the parade, and
Yeah.
you know, and then
Yeah.
it's like this the fight over femmes and butch lesbians, and just there's always this like weird
People want to close the door behind them.
divisiveness.
People are always like, okay, we got
Yeah.
in, but no, not you.
That's
You know,
exactly right.
it's like
Yeah. Safety.
Yeah, it's like America. Just
It's America.
immigration. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, once the Irish came over, they're like, okay, now we're closing.
Yeah.
You can't come over now.
Or suffrage.
You know, it's
like, okay, we'll just
yeah.
get the white ladies first.
Yeah,
and
right.
then
It's
Yeah.
this constant challenge of human beings to accept differences and the diversity. And diversity is scary to people, especially if you grow up in a place that's not diverse. Then different people. That's why traveling is so good for people. You know, it's just so it's just people getting comfortable. They got comfortable with the gay thing. Okay, we were out there singing. They liked our songs. We found that okay, there's gay people in sport. Okay, but and then eventually, weird people will just be, it's a part of all of us.
It is especially hard. I mean, it is especially hard right now with the trans movement so under attack.
Yeah.
For it to come, for our community to be
Yeah.
to sit in that seat too and start. It's just like, wow,
You
y'all.
see,
have you not learned?
Yeah,
it's
from the
just-
past 50 years.
I mean, there's a great example in the world right now. How can a group of people who have been so oppressed, killed, separated, ostracized, treat another group of human beings inhumanely?
I think that's one of the things I've learned so much from our 20-year-olds. They don't even comprehend the idea of leaving anyone behind. Like, if this whole like compromising thing, like if they don't want us without the trans community, then fuck you, then we don't get any of us.
Right. Yeah.
So all of it is about, no,
Yeah.
we'll stand together.
Yeah.
Because we're not even, I think that's what I'm trying to say, like, we're not even trying to get what you have.
Yeah,
Right.
We
exactly.
don't need your room. We don't need
Exactly.
we'll just
Yeah.
stick together, because if we did, we'd be bigger and more powerful.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And if we
Well,
could
it's
all see
intersectionality.
that these conservatives, the people that are afraid of us, are also just a part of this. We're looking at you as you're kind of weird, you know, and that's where the media and stuff comes in, because it's all very one kind of sided. And if that's our job, is to keep doing what we do, be successful, love what we do, be up here, so that pretty soon it's just, and those are the noisy ones. They've got all the power right now, but power is attention. So if we can be who we are, have more attention, then they become just part of the big soup.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you tell them about the Freedom Fleet?
Well, I mean, this is just a cheesy metaphor that I always use, but
It's not cheesy. It's very important.
so in one day I was just feeling extremely depressed about like the onslaught of everything, and like how are we going to respond, and how do we resist something that's constantly And I was rereading this essay by Michelle Alexander that she wrote in the first Trump administration, where she was saying, don't worry, we're not the resistance. Like the river of like yearning for love and justice, which is what all three of you have been singing about forever, is the river. That's the way of things.
Yeah,
That is the energy. That's God. That's
and you're flowing with it, or you're resisting it.
And the resistance is the other side. That's like that's why all the
Michelle
laws and all the
Alexander,
whatever. But it's not just the river. We have to be human about. We have to get in the river.
We need to figure out just like concrete thing you can do every day that makes a difference. That's not just helping someone feel better, but also like, you know, like the friends in LA that we have that do the networks of people that alert people to when ice raids are going on, or, you know, taking someone in or helping, or, you know, if someone's like, I can't work here anymore, but I need to still make money, but I'm undocumented and I need help and I need to have some kind of job, but I can't do it here because, you know, like just try whatever it is that you can do mechanically. Like, I just feel like there's so many, it's so hard to figure out what to do. I know, because I'm always struggling with that. Like, what can I do that like is actually in the trenches and makes a difference? I think singing is good, but also I have some extra time. I want to do something else too.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I want to help this person or help this kid or do this or that. Yeah. And it's like, so if we get, you know, so if some trans kid gives us a request to do something special for the family or do this or that, it's like, oh yeah, we can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, there's something to do. It's like, just be on the lookout.
And everyone doing that is what creates change.
Exactly.
Doing what you can do right there.
Yeah.
And people
That
are different about what
creates
they do, aren't they?
That's
I
right.
mean,
Everybody has
they
different
need
things they can do.
all the different ways. You know, I used to be like, they threw condoms at the Pope? What? You know, and it was like, that was important. I was too young to get that. Now I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then my dad has this relationship with this Benedictine community in Minnesota, and I came to understand why a community of prayer was important and how that fit into the whole thing. But it's like, we have to respect all the input for good change, you know, no matter what form it takes, what it looks like.
And we have to respect the people in different boats. There's this vibe of like, I'm in this boat and you're in this boat, so fuck you. But it's like, no, what's
You're all
one
on the
fleet?
same river. You're all on the
fleet.
You're all on the same river.
Yeah, and we need them in our boat, and we need to be in our boat, and we should just be. The only thing we should be yelling is go, 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 right? Like,
but a lot of times, white people think that it's their perspective is the perspective. You know what I mean?
I
It's
have
like,
not noticed that, Emily. Is that
so like if you're after the election and you're wringing your hands and you're crying like I did, and then you talk to a black woman who's been in the struggle, not only her entire life, but her generations, her people, and then you're like, oh.
Yeah.
and we're like, I'm going to take my ball and go home because it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah. That's another thing, the perception of time.
The only thing you have control over is you and how you feel. And we don't realize how powerful that is.
Yeah.
Can you just, first of all, move in with me? And then while you're thinking about that, I actually just want to know, is there any, you mentioned inspiration from books, poetry, movies, TV, but like, do you have anything lately that's been especially delightful or healing to you in the art world, TV world, anything?
And it also could be my answer, which is Love Island. So it could be very low brow. Like, she's not going to want that answer from you guys, but I just want to make
Love
sure.
Island?
There's a range
for
of things. Like Love Island, I'm just like, it's like the perfect medication for me right now.
There's
My children's too.
yeah. This isn't a Love Island answer.
Great.
But there's a book. It's called The Myth of Normal. Gabor Mate.
Oh, we love Gabor. Yeah.
Gabor.
Yeah.
Gabor, yes. It's a big, thick book. But you will find comfort. You will find some understanding in why people think the way they do. And then how you can heal your own inner stuff to be of service, to be
He's great.
of service.
Beautiful.
I would say that. No, I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Love
I'm gonna
Island
write that
is
one
pretty
down.
good too.
I got into this writer, Imani Perry.
Oh!
And I've read everything, and then I reread it, and then I listen to the audiobooks. Such a great perspective on so many things. Beyond race contextualizes so many things in such a beautiful way. So she's my new love of writing. But I have to say, my 11-year-old, sitting beside them on the couch, watching them play Minecraft is quite a calming experience for me.
Whoa.
And they're really
Cool.
good at it and into it. And we do a lot of things together besides that. I don't want y'all to think I'm just like 6 hours playing Minecraft. But,
They create universes. And it's all about creation.
And I'm just sitting there and I'm just listening to all the
love it.
beautiful sounds that Minecraft has. And I'm just like, this
it's
is
really
so peaceful right now.
Oh, that's lovely.
So, and then we walk in the woods a lot. Those things. I think 11-year-olds that's a great age.
Is Imani's work important to you because of the Southern thing? Because you're so
probably,
connected to the South.
probably. I mean, I think, I'm a broken record about the South. I'm trying to also write about something different, but yeah. And I also think she brings, it's about the South, but she has a way of bringing people into the circle and understanding other people that are so different from herself and being truly empathetic, which is so hard to do. And she really does it, And so, I mean, that book, South to America, was like, I think I listened to the audiobook twice, read the book twice. I was like, commit this to my mantra. So, yeah, I think it helped me. It restored me to, in my town, with my people, to be patient and empathetic and loving. And I'm such a Southerner, and gave me more patience with my ancestors that are, there's some rest in peace, but like, whoa, some of them should not rest in peace. I'll just say that.
Work harder, do better.
But yeah, so anyway,
Awesome.
What's up for Emily?
Well, this friend Kathleen, she's a friend of Amy's and mine now. Y'all know her.
Yeah.
She's from
Amazing
Georgia.
person.
I spent a few hours with her. She's a filmmaker, a very good filmmaker. And she also is doing this on the ground work with reporting when ICE shows up. I was so inspired. I've known this woman for decades. I was so inspired by the way she is living and working in the world. It was I don't know how to describe it. I was like, and it made me want to be a better person. So like, I have all these people in my life. Amy's one of them too. That makes me want to be.
I'm not trying to belittle that.
A better person, Like I have a lot of people in my life who are very smart and active, and so I'm always inspired by that. Katie Gavin has been very important to me.
Me too.
Her personhood, her music, the people that she's introduced me to, and then like I've really because I've struggled with my privilege, my whiteness. I've had a lot of like, I don't know if guilt's the right word, but taken it into perspective in a way that has diminished the power of joy in my own life with people I love. And so I'm very, very invested right now in spending time with people I love. And I'm very fortunate to love my family. They're like my friends, hang with them. So I'm getting a lot of inspiration. Also, this is kind of weird, but I went to Scandinavia. My sisters and I took my dad, and we went to the museum in Oslo, like the National Museum, and it was so well curated, and it was like the revival of the Gothic area of art. And I was like, wow, curating is really important. Like just like a well-constructed sermon was always important. So I really had an appreciation for the work that goes into presenting something. That was inspiring to me. And then I read Miranda July. I read both her books. And I'm like, I fucking love weird people.
Yes.
Like just diversity and weirdness.
How many groups have split up in horrible stuff, and these two genuinely still love each other? It's so great. It's so
I'm
inspiring.
thankful for it.
It's so inspiring. You guys are so cool.
We love you.
We love you.
I like my little Indigo Girl sandwiches. I'm very, very happy.
We're having a love tour.
We are so
one last thing.
grateful.
I want to throw in one more thing.
Yes, me too.
Plant medicine, hallucinogenics are healing and provide a lot of relief. And I'm going to throw a little
Which
thing
ones?
for my foundation.
Oh, no, please. We want to hear. I read all about it. I'm
Oh, no.
obsessed.
No, say it.
Yeah,
Please.
It's, well, cannabis is the one that that everyone that they use it recreationally, but I think any use of any plant medicine is medicinal. People just don't know it. And psilocybin is got so much. There's so much microdosing, and it's all about facilitation though. But the big work which the Etheridge Foundation does is in opioid addiction. I lost my son 5 years ago, and to see and understand the science, and this is where science and spirit meet. And the Etheridge Foundation, I'm right in the middle, really bringing these two together, because the science is in our brain chemistry, our neural pathways can be reset through plant medicine. This is not we're doing drugs, this is therapeutic work with ayahuasca, with ibogaine. Ibogaine is iboga is a African root that for centuries they've been doing ceremony with. And sometimes just one 4-hour journey on ibogaine can the reason it helps addicts is because the addiction is the neurological pathway just going there that needs to be fixed. It pauses that. And you can rewire. The science is there. The Etheridge Foundation raises money for this research all over the world that shows that the science is working, and there's a lot of hope there. There's a lot of relief.
Keep doing that awesome work.
So
We're both.
Where do people find that information?
Etheridgefoundation.org. And there's information there. You can donate. You can help. There's all kinds of things you can do.
That's great. Listen.
All right. But I just want to say that we've seen a lot of great things, a lot of hope.
I was a former opioid addict myself,
Wow.
so I very much understand. I've been sober for almost 10 years now. We've done a couple of therapeutic treatments, and it's a huge deal.
And there's a whole range. I'm really trying to also normalize that. Bring it out of the world.
Great work.
It's I've seen a special about a couple that did that with a man who had PTSD from the war.
Oh,
it was incredible how it saved his life.
Changed their life because they
rewired
their
the
neural
science
pathways.
of it,
It's the science.
It's not really cool.
Yeah, and
I got a few pathways that need to be rewired.
Come on, I want to go rewire those pathways now.
Very amazing.
What about you guys? Do you have anything?
I do dog rescue.
Do you know what she does? She brings puppies to shows.
Well,
and it's so hard for us.
We love it.
I'm going to adopt
I don't
10
do it. Our
puppies,
tour manager lines
okay,
it up.
All right. You don't do it. Okay.
I do dog rescue, but I didn't mean to do this one at this moment. And I have 6 right now. And then I had to rescue this 110-pound Rottweiler just out of puppyhood. Sweet, but I can't keep it. I got to find a home for this dog.
Oh, 110 pounds.
He's great with kids. Don't know yet. He's so far pretty good with other dogs. We're not positive. He ignores cats. We're working with him, but he's at my house.
Okay. Anyone? So we
So,
need.
no, I don't know.
A
It's
family.
by the time this airs, he'll be adopted. I hope.
Okay.
But
you
I
might
mean,
have another
ideally, it
one
would
by
be
then.
like somebody that like doesn't even have that's had Rottweilers and wants another one because they lost one or something and likes to go running with a big dog because he needs to be trained.
Did you guys see Tiki online at all? Are you online?
No.
Okay, Simon
Well, I
Sitz.
mean, sometimes.
Simon Sitz IG. This is a silly story now, but if you want to do yourselves a favor, just go to Simon Sitz IG and then follow Tiki. This woman Isabel adopted a dog named Tiki and took us through the day-by-day process, and it was exactly what I needed right when Trump got elected.
Oh, cool.
I was like, oh my God, like one person saving one life
Yeah.
is the content that I'm here for.
Yeah.
So do yourself a favor.
That's beautiful.
I
We're
have
having
more
her on.
dogs and opossums and like squid in my Instagram feed than anything
Highland
else.
cows,
Like,
Highland
it's
cows.
Oh, Highland
Highland
cows are
cows.
awesome.
the way cows love music.
Yes. Yes.
Like, okay, these guys have very like profoundly offered wonderful things. I want to plug my musical.
Yay! That's huge.
Like we're on The View.
Tell us
Yeah.
everything.
I know. That's funny. So this is my first musical.
It's awesome.
I'm writing. Thanks, Aim. I'm writing the music, and Beth Malone, who starred in Fun Home, wrote the book with her friend Marianne Stratton, who's a wonderful writer. Taught public school for 30 years. So Marianne, Beth, and I wrote the show. It's called Starstruck, loosely based on Cyrano de Bergerac, and we have our first production at Bucks County Playhouse. And the first show is like February 20th, 2026. So I'm really excited that we have a production, and I'm sorry, but I do want to plug it.
Of course
You gotta
you do.
plug it.
Because I want people to come. It's going to be midwinter up
We're
near
there.
Philadelphia.
Writing a
We are
play
there.
and songs for a play is a different beast than
It
what
is.
you're used to,
It
right?
is.
Is it fun? Was it a fun experience?
Oh, it's fun. It's exhilarating. I'm around a lot of creative people who are really schooling me on things that I'm enjoying learning about.
Cool.
It's thrilling. It's thrilling.
So cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Psilocybin, Rottweilers.
Yeah, my PSA is that don't buy from a breeder. Just freaking adopt a
Adopt.
dog.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They kill them every day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's I know you don't want to hear that. People don't want to hear that, but the shelters are overcrowded. Even the no-kill shelters in Georgia are having to euthanize.
Mm.
So do not just wait. You don't
Mhm.
need. You can go online and find any breed you want.
That's right.
Rescue organizations, just do it.
Thank you so much.
Y'all are
This
the
is beyond
best.
what I ever.
We love you guys.
Our
dreamed it
first
would be.
Yeah, we
studio
love
show.
you.
And maybe last.
There you go.
We Can Do Hard Things is an independent production brought to you by Treat Media. We make art for humans who want to stay human. Forever Dog is our production partner, and you can follow us at We Can Do Hard Things on Instagram and at We Can Do Hard Things Show on TikTok.